some things I wanted to share with you. I have some clothing items that I have added some rhinestones to, buttons, ribbons, different things like that. And I thought if I show you, maybe it will spark some creativity in you to be able to add to things that you already have to kind of make them more exciting and more fun to look at, more fun to wear. So take a look at these things that I'm going to show you and try to get some ideas of your own of what you might be able to do. We're going to start with something simple. How's that? And then we'll get more complicated from there. So hang on a sec while I go get the first item. First of all, I have a blouse that was on this kitty that was on the sale rack, and the thing I did with this one, it had a big plastic ring here that had a little, I don't know, a little plastic bar right through the middle holding it. So it was kind of like their own little plastic jewelry that they had put on there. And let me tell you, it did not make the blouse look very expensive at all. It just made it look cheapy. I didn't like the color of it. It was a really bad shade. So what I did was I brought it home. I broke off that little plastic bar inside the ring of the plastic ring they had on there, and I just went to Penny's, I think it was, and bought, this is a brooch, a pin, a brooch to put there instead. So that was a really easy fix that made a blouse that had looked really cheapy and kind of to one that looks pretty nice now. It's dresses it up really pretty, and this way also you can interchange the brooch as to different colors that you might want to use, either silver or gold, or different even jewel colors to be able to use with the blouse. So if you see a blouse that's on a sale rack and you're like, okay, I like the blouse, but I really don't like that big plastic whatever they have there, even if it's a button, you can buy a garment that has 2 or 3 buttons on it. Just buy the garment, get rid of the buttons, and find some really pretty buttons or brooches to be able to replace it with. So that's one of the easiest things you can do to a garment that you see in the store that you're like, hey, that's a pretty good price, but I just don't like this or that. It's really easy to change, okay? Just because it might be a plastic ring doesn't mean you can't take it home and break it off, okay? So that's item number 1. But it's important that you know if you're going to add bling or sequins to a garment, make sure you do it in a pattern. Try to find, I don't know if you can see this, try to find the pattern on the blouse. Here they had an alternating pattern of these little, I don't know, they're flowers or something. And so what I did is just added the sequins in between an alternating pattern. If you just do it at random, splish splash, it kind of doesn't have that professional look to it. So if you're going to add sequins and things, make sure you do it in a pattern that goes along with the pattern that's on the fabric of the garment. And also, instead of just doing it in the front, do it all the way around the back too. Okay? So that's item number 2. And this blouse here was so adorable, and it's the crochet little blouse, you know, and it had a different color. It had a color of ribbon in it that I was not liking at all. It looked faded. It didn't really go well with the color of the crochet. So what I did is I brought it home, and I took out the ribbon they had, and I put in a ribbon that I thought would go better and would brighten up the blouse just a bit. And I have a real bright blue jewelry to go with it. But then also I went through and added an extra ribbon across the top. Now if you want to get crazy, you could add a whole bunch of different ribbons in this particular blouse. Because of the crochet that they have the little lines, if you can see that, they have the little lines here that makes it very easy to weave the ribbon in and out. So you could put several different colors of ribbon in that. Now sometimes when you're not wearing the garment, the ribbon might pooch out a little bit, but when I put this on, it kind of fills out and pulls that ribbon nice and snug. But anyway, so if you have crochet, crochet is a real easy garment to be able to thread the ribbon through or do a lot of bead work on. So if you're creative, this is one thing you can do to cause the garment to be a lot more colorful or flashy or have your individual style. Okay, so the next one that I'm very, very excited about would be the jean jacket. This is a jean jacket that I had bought. It came just the regular jean jacket. It came with these cute little things already on it, but what I did is I added the bright buttons with the bright gold because I like lots of sparkle. But anyway, these buttons came from Walmart. This is not a jacket that's meant to, you know, be buttoned. It has the little hook and eye on the inside, so you just hook it this way, and so the buttons were just for looks. So if you don't know how to do buttonholes or whatever, you could add buttons just for look. And this is what I did with this. I also added these appliques. Now when you go to shake somebody's hand or something, you want your applique to be on the top of the arm like that. I also put the appliques on the back of the jacket, real pretty there, to add some style and a flair to it that really, really takes it up to the next level. And by applique, I mean these, let's see, you could get these at a fabric store or even on eBay or whatever, but they're just little pretty lacy appliques, and I sew mine on. I do not like to glue items because I'm concerned that the edges will start to peel or it'll start to come off. So what I do is I sew around all the edges and make sure that it's nice and solid, that you can't, you know, pick up or curl, because when you wash it, they may tend to curl on the edges. So make sure when you add these to sew right along the very edge so that they can't come up. And these you can add to jeans, or you can add them on your sleeves. You can add them on like the little back part of your jeans. I mean, you know, just any way you want. These are real fun. The black ones, I use the black ones more, but I know you can get them in gold and white and cream. But so appliques are a good way to really make an outfit look pretty, as well as buttons. These were just your basic natural colored wedges, but what I did is I went ahead and I added all kinds of beads to it so that it is much more colorful and much more exciting to look at. Now these are the type of beads that have, if you go to like a fabric store, the beads actually have a hole on either side that you can sew, because again, I prefer to sew if the material is not leather or anything, but if it's canvas material like this, you sew the beads on so that you could do anything with them and they won't pop off on you. So, but again, it's very important that if you're going to do something like this, use a pattern. Just make up a real pretty design and use the same color pattern throughout the shoe, and like the little side view there. Use the same shape, the pattern that you would want to go with your outfits, and that gives it a more professional look and jazzes it way up a lot more than just your regular canvas shoe. It's now a very pretty blingy shoe. So if you wanted to, you could add bling here, but you may have to glue that on. So use a really good glue, because I don't think you'd be able to sew it. So those are my shoes. And then I have one last thing that I wanted to show you. Do you recall seeing anything like this on vacation? This is your typical Florida or even Hawaiian type of a wrap. You just wrap it around your swimsuit and away you go. Well, to me, I see these as potential for a project. I think, ooh, material. So what I do is I buy these and then I'll bring them home and I'll make a different garment out of them, because I really like the bright, pretty material and I like that little fringe going on. So let me show you what I made out of one of the wraps that I had bought in Hawaii while I was there. First of all, I made this little swimsuit cover that's, there's no zipper, there's no buttons, it's just pull it over your head and it's got the little fringe on the bottom, and it's just real comfortable. Nice little swimsuit cover. Just the little straps around your shoulders, little collar here, and that's the swimsuit cover. Well, there was a lot more pieces, little pieces with fringe left on it, and I didn't want it to go to waste, so this is what I did with the rest of the pieces. Where have you been? I made a little shirt with the rest of the pieces that was left over from that material. On the sleeves, I put, you know, a little arrow of material that had the fringe on the end to hang over the arm, and then I took little pieces to line the collar, and then in the front I took the major big piece that I had left to go over, and I thought it would be fun to have a nice little V-neck to echo the V of the shirt collar. And then on the edges, on the back, I did the same pattern type, only instead of going down towards the neck, it goes up towards the hair. So this is what the back would look like. But then on the side, under your arm, there's that white area, but then at the bottom is just a nice little connector piece, because I still had little pieces left over. So I pretty much used every little inch of that piece of material that would be considered just a wrap for your swimsuit. And so this is what I did with it. So I hope that gives you some creative ideas of some pieces of material and different wraps and things that you find when you're on vacation. Have been helpful to you to use creativity with the things that you already have laying around the house. Jean jackets, little canvas shoes, blouses, and things that have patterns on them already that you can enhance and add to and weave through. So have fun with what you have, and I hope this really stirs up those creative juices in you. There's more in you than you realize.